What's up, Virgo? Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your June 2024 tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. I'm happy to have you all. Let's set the intention to connect with my Virgo gang out there. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Let's get them some clear, helpful, insightful messages for wherever they are currently at on their spiritual path forward. Well, please come into the readings with an open heart and an open mind. Do remember, these are general messages, guys, so if something feels strange or foreign, if it doesn't resonate, please release it. Assume it's going out to someone else who needs to hear it. It might just resonate for you at a later time or date, so again, be open to that. All right, Virgo, let's do it. What's up? Happy Gemini season. A lot of planets moving through your 10th house of career, status, reputation, legacy, sometimes a house related to your mother and, family dynamics. So let's see what's going on. Stories I can share with you. Three of Cups, hanging out with your girl gang, your squad, your besties. Let's see. It feels like you are trying to talk some sense into a friend who might be falling head over heels for a new dude or a new romantic prospect, gender put aside. And yeah, it's like you seem to be offering what you feel is sage advice or guidance or wisdom, but this person doesn't really want to hear it. You might kind of feel like there's like they're pulling away from you, like a friendship or a long-standing connection in your life. Even if it's not romantic for anyone involved, it seems like there's a growing distance or there's more focus on themselves. And so you might feel like you're kind of being pushed to the outskirts. Yeah, it's like there's like a little bit of loneliness to reconnect with people the way you used to. Some of you, this card may be representing your past too, of feeling very locked in and very connected and feeling appreciated and acknowledged and seen by your friends, your family, groups of people, coworkers. Right now, you kind of seem to be almost in a zone of either wanting to be a little bit more. It's ironically, not social. Even though we're in a time of Gemini, it feels like you're kind of wanting to pull back your energy. And I don't know if you're feeling isolated or wanting to isolate. I think it might be both. It's like I think you are feeling a little bit hurt or rejected, but you're not really saying anything. I don't necessarily sense there was a huge falling out. I think something went unspoken here. And maybe this is between you and your romantic partner or whoever you were dating, but it feels like there was a growing distance and then things just kind of broke off without maybe addressing what happened. So yeah, it's kind of like you're feeling isolated or you're feeling lonely, feeling a little bit lost, reflecting back on past times and what transpired. Let's see, Six of Swords. Yeah, I think you are worried that this person is moving on without you, like you're not going to be part of the narrative or part of their life anymore. It feels like they kind of froze you out. So tell me a little bit about this other person then, just so I can kind of get the vibe. Was it intentional? Or because you might be misreading the signs. I'm not saying all of you are. I don't know yet. I have to get clarifiers here, but yeah, it's something about it. You're starting to sense that something is getting a little frosty, like it's frozen or it's cooled down. I'm using all those terms, right? It feels like this person is just either more self-involved or consumed in their life, their work life, their romantic prospects. Maybe there's another one. I don't know if you guys are on the outs. Yeah, so King of Cups is coming through. So I don't think this is for most of you representing whoever you're dealing with here. I don't think it represents their boss. I think if you were in a partnership with this person, it feels like they had wandering eyes, or you suspected that they were connecting with someone else. And again, for some of you, it's like your group of friends. It feels very much like junior high. It's like then they get a new best friend and you're like, wait a minute, that was my best friend. Like it feels, you feel awkward or isolated in some sort of social group or dynamic. I don't know if it's romantic for some of you. If you were, it almost feels like this didn't feel like it was an official partnership to me. This felt more like someone, maybe if it is romantic, you were dating them for a few weeks and you started to get attached or have feelings, and then you notice this person pulling back their energy. And I mean, I just have to call a spade a spade. It does seem like your intuition is correct that, maybe they were kind of, maybe we weren't ever exclusive. We never really talked about that. So maybe they were chatting with other people while they were, maybe they were casually dating. I think that's probably correct. That's the vibe I'm getting here. So what's going on with this side of the storyline? Two of Pentacles. Yeah, they were keeping their options open. Or another option was presented to them and they decided to lean into that because it was quite literally warmer, right? The color tone, it drew their eye more. So again, I don't mean to be rude. And maybe this is across what you're reading, right? Maybe someone's watching on Virgo, like, why did my Virgo pull back their energy? Because Virgo has another option that was presented and they thought it was tastier. I don't know. There, there's heat, there's light, there's warmth here. Maybe it involved a fire sign or possibly a Scorpio. But yes, something else came into the mix and it pulled them away from whatever this dynamic was. So anything else I need to know about this? The Hanged Man. But here's the thing, that is, whatever is going on here, that in itself is still very hung up or up in the air. With the Hanged Man, there isn't a lot of clarity on what's going on there because it's interesting. There's a mirroring thing going on here. You're feeling isolated by this person who you invested a lot of time and energy and friendship with, and all of a sudden it's gotten cold. They've retracted their energy and you're just like, what the fuck? But also you're kind of hurt. Same thing is going on here with this person. It's like it's very much like, it feels Gemini, like, their eyes are darting and they catch sight of something new and pretty and they're like, ooh, I'm going to go chase this butterfly. And then the butterfly isn't consistent or it disappears. And they're like, wait a minute, where did it go? That's what's happening to your friend or whoever you were interested romantically. They were pursuing another option that is very flighty or inconsistent or in and out. So I mean, I don't want you to invest in someone who isn't investing in you. I think there needs to be reciprocity and clarity and honesty in what you guys want out of this relationship, because I don't think you are on the same page, at least not from what I'm seeing. That being said, though, if you're like, oh my God, this was the love of my life, and now they're with the love of their life, and they're going to get married, and I'm going to be left in the dust, and that's not necessarily true, because this person, they're dealing with someone who doesn't like to be vulnerable. There's an excitable energy here. There's something kind of passionate, enthusiastic, and playful, but then it breaks off or it dampens. It's not always this emotional high of, oh my God, this is so great, this is the love of my life. They're dealing with someone who's kind of moody and doesn't necessarily like to be vulnerable. And I mean, no judgment or shade or anything, quite literally shade with the window here, but it's like they might even be dating someone who has like depression or emotional issues or something like that, where it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So I guess the only reason why I think I'm relaying this to you is like, don't get it twisted. This isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Like, they didn't ditch you and upgrade their life and now it's like they're in a happy existence and you're miserable. That's really not what's going on here. I think that's a false perception. And maybe some of you know who this is, right? Maybe you know that this is your best friend dating that guy that you don't really like because you just don't like his vibe or whatever. It has that kind of feeling to it. So I don't even know who's who anymore, but I think this is you, Virgo. So tell me a little bit more about Virgo's storyline. Why are we sharing this with them? Ultimately, why is this message coming through? The Death card. So I actually love this card. What a rock star card this is. It gets better. Okay? I would take this opportunity of having a little bit more space and breathing room in your life and not having a very full, busy social calendar. I would take advantage of that and really do some work on yourself. And yes, maybe it is spiritual soul work and asking greater questions about, attachment styles or, you can do the psychological deep dig of why am I feeling this? And yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a person who loves that anyway. So I'm going to tell you to do that anyway, because I think that's fun, right? Or not fun, but very cathartic and necessary. When we turn our energy inward and be like, I want to improve this part of myself. So I want to be self-aware and look at my own habits and behaviors and patterns and where they're not serving me and where I'm repeating the same, stories or cycles over and over. Like, yeah, cool, do it, love it. If that's not really what you're looking for, this almost just feels like look at this as a brand new chapter of your life and it is unwritten. Like, you get to put the first word on the page and make this next chapter about whatever you want it to be. And for some of you, it seems like you are dealing with sort of the heavy truth that you may have outgrown a friendship. Or there's a friendship in your life that used to be a mainstay and it was great and it was awesome. And now that they're kind of consumed in love and maybe you're not, you're kind of like, ooh, well, this is different for me. And you're right, but it's not a bad different. This is a chapter about you and embracing who you truly are and coming into your own. And it feels, with the Scorpio death card, it's like shedding of the snake skin. Like, you've outgrown something. And sometimes in life, you do outgrow people. We meet people for a reason. And sometimes they're there for a year or 5 years or 10 years. Sometimes they're there, throughout our lives. Sometimes we break apart for a few years and then we reconnect and it's great again. But rather than fighting this or trying to control it or do anything heavy-handed, or, I'll be honest with Scorpio energy, rather than doing like kind of this emotionally manipulative ploy to try and get your friend back when really maybe it just has to do with your own jealousy or resentment, whatever it is. I wouldn't do that. I would do the higher vibration of the Scorpio and do like a total rehaul and transformation of your life. Release, right? Don't do the fixed energy where you hold on to things for dear life, even though it's smothering or suffocating or it's not good for you. Allow things to exit your life organically and assume it's making room for something better, because I actually think it is. Some of you may end up getting a job that's actually going to make you move locations anyway, or you may even get invited to go on some sort of trip. Some sort of opportunity to travel is going to come into your life. It might even be through a family member, and you're going to have the time to do it because I don't know, because you're leaving this job or you're leaving, I don't know, it's making more room in your life. It's like gutting things out. It's going under like renovation or rehaul. Some of you may actually do that for work. I don't mean this in the superficial sense, but quite literally, I see some of you giving yourselves like a makeover, like waking up and deciding like, I want to look different in the mirror. So like, I'm going to do my, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I'm going to cut my hair. I'm going to do my eye makeup differently. I'm going to start dressing this way. It's like, and it's not coming from a sense of I'm needing to impress people. Again, it's like a shedding of the snake skin. It's like, what I want to reflect more accurately, more authentically who I am. And for some of you, there was like the influence of others, the influence of, I almost want to say like peer pressure of like it feels very like Heathers, like needing to show up dressed as all the popular girls because they're all wearing that thing. So if you don't go out and get it, then, what is that going to say about you? Now, I think that's a metaphor, but you understand like the feeling I'm getting at is, I don't think you realize ways that you were changing yourself in order to stay or engage in this relationship, whether it was romantic, platonic, friendship. There was an aspect of you that wasn't living its authentic truth. And by breaking away from this, or again, even if it's not final, even if it's not a finality, if that's it, we're done, having more space to kind of refocus on yourself and lean into who you are and your individuality, because somehow it got lost or muddled by being in this dynamic, in this relationship, whatever it was. This actually feels like you're about to watch that scene in a movie with the montage where it's like the girl wakes up and remembers like who the F she is. And like, she has that moment in the mirror. She's looking up. She's got those intense eyes. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to make this world mine. It has very much like, almost like Ripley and Alien vibes. Like, oh, power babe. Like I'm going to get back out there and live my best life. And I think you're going to see where this was actually a distraction for you. It's like, there's something bigger in the pipeline for you. It's already probably starting to come in a little bit, but it's like you have to mentally, physically, maybe emotionally, I don't know, prepare for this next chapter. And it's taking away what isn't needed and what's no longer necessary in your life. What is coming in? This might involve a Scorpio in some capacity. For those who have strong Scorpio in your chart, hell yeah, that feels very illuminated right now. And I mean, yeah, planets are moving through Gemini, which is your 10th house. Let's see. I got to think about this. So Virgo, Libra, so Scorpio would be, yeah, maybe, I don't know, your third house, right? Your perception of things, maybe your, how you view the world, lessons, education, studies, short trips and travel is definitely coming in. 9 of Wands to me though is ultimately saying you're going to see in hindsight how this relationship was actually hindering your growth or holding you back when like you're meant to be released. Like look at this as a gift. And I know you're not seeing it as that right now, but like quite literally the path is being illuminated for you forward. So don't look back. Don't second guess this. I don't think you need to feel sorry or guilty or weird or remorseful. Do your best to act in a higher vibration. But again, sometimes things they naturally sort of fall out of our life and you don't need to second guess that. It has nothing to do with you. It has a lot to do with them. But this chapter does have to do with you and it needs your focus and your attention. Some of you got some sort of news from the doctor or something medical that has further empowered you. So I don't know if it was negative or positive, and I don't do fear-based readings, but either way, it sort of reinvigorated your devotion to self. A very Virgo message, right? The body, like the body is my temple. Where have I not been honoring it and respecting it? That's what I mean about like this, girl in the mirror re-engaging in her own life. It feels very much like, okay, I'm back in it. Like I forgot myself for a minute. I remember who I am now, and I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go do it. All right, let's pull an oracle card for Virgo. Something that would be meaningful or significant to some of my Virgos out there. Thank you. All right, let's see. So you got, this deck is kind of scary to me. Oil of vitriol. I don't know if I'm saying that right. There's all these words in here that I don't even know how to pronounce. So bear with me. I'll do my best, but the message will still translate, I hope. Let's see if I can find it. XXXV. I'm so close. There it is. Let's see. Oil of I don't know if it's vitriol. I hope I'm saying that right. I have no idea. Acidity, resentment, and purification. When the green lion appears, a great alchemical reckoning is afoot. Long-standing frustration and imbalance cause this regal creature to lash out unconsciously, consuming all in its path. Be prepared for emotional turmoil as the lion thrashes about. Don't worry, these changes are necessary for growth and in the end will be a relief to all. Purification is the lion's aim, and it is determined to get there one way or another. When this card appears, the question must be asked, am I the green lion or the sun, the one consuming or the one being consumed? It is said that finding oneself in the mouth of the lion is a necessary moment on any spiritual path. As the discomfort passes, the sunbeams shine all the brighter. All right. Virgo, that's what I got for you. Thanks for joining me today. I hope these messages resonated with you and spoke to you in some way. If not, share it with a friend. Maybe it'll speak to them. Maybe this is something your child or husband is going through. Who knows? But I appreciate you being here. Please like the video, guys. If you're not already, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. That helps me a whole bunch. It helps me gain traction on YouTube and gets these messages out there to those who need to hear them and want to hear them and can benefit from them. Thanks for being here, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye, Virgo.